What's up, you guys? Serenity, Soul Invictus. I'm back with another topic. I just thought I'd touch on this a little bit today before I get surprised by company. I want to talk about going backwards. This is something that is very important for us. I want to say human beings, but I'm going to go a little more in depth in that. I just got this new lip gloss. I don't have it nearby. It's far away. It's this Guarana lip balm. It moisturizes really well, but it leaves a lot of extra. But it lasts really long. I love it. Talking about going backwards, talking about evolving, on the spiritual path. It's very important for us to remain steadfast on this journey because we're going to have a lot of setbacks every day of our lives. And I've seen that ever since I started doing a little bit more spiritual practice, becoming a little bit more in tune with the way I behave, the way I carry myself, the way I think, all of these things, there have been more and more temptations coming up every single moment of the day. And this is why I wanted to do this topic today, because it's very important for us to be reminded of this. Okay, these are tests. These things that creep up, these are not just coincidental random happenings. These things are tests that help to catapult us to the next level of our journey. And so if you want to actually move forward and advance, it's important for you to not go backwards. Just simply put. We see a lot of people talk about these things, about becoming your greatest version, your higher self, doing all of these noble and magical things and stuff like that. But we don't know for sure if they live their life day in and day out like that. You see, we see people, I've seen some people, we can get all envious and jealous of people in certain situations. We say, oh, well, if they have this, how come I don't? Why could she be this and have that? And she's younger than I am, this, that, the next thing, or whatever. We can't worry about someone else's journey. All we can worry about is our own. All right. And we see a lot of people sell themselves short every day because they watch the situation of someone else and say, oh, well, I'm going to do that too. Or I want to do that like the way she did it or the way he did it or whatever. You are here as yourself. You know your journey. I just did a video talking about all 7 chakras, explaining them in full detail. And you know, balancing of those chakras is vital to your life's harmony, to happiness, to health overall in your life. You know what you are in need of most, okay? When you go and you sit down and you take stock of what actually your life looks like, you cannot compare it to other people's. You only know your experiences, your environment, your effort, all of the things that are yours, basically. So think about going backwards now. When you say a mind that has been expanded to truth, and to another dimension, it's very hard to take it backwards. We end up, I see people who, they've been fired from a job. Let's say, for example, they've been fired from a job, fired, terminated, let go, okay? Perhaps a few months down the road, they could not find something else to do, or they may feel too insecure to go and look for that other thing that they were seeking before, and they go crawling back to the company, begging for their old job back. A job is like a relationship, if you're going to leave, if there's criteria for you to leave, what's going to make you come back? What makes you think it's going to be better the second time around? You see what I'm saying? That happening, that termination, that firing or whatever happened for a very good reason. And for you to actually turn around and go back to it, you're putting yourself in for, I think, great pain, great suffering and misery, because this is life trying to elevate you, trying to send you to another path, trying to show you a new road now that you can go down, that's open just for you. but you're ignoring it and you're going back down that side street. You know what I mean? So as God man, God woman, as gods and goddesses in human form, we are not to go backwards. You know, the Rastas say something: forwards ever, backwards never. Okay? And you find when you do that, you suffer greatly. You pay the price that you have never would have imagined paying before that. Same as with relationships. You go backwards because perhaps say, nobody's gonna love me the same as this person did, or I can't do any better than this person, I'm with right now. Who's gonna want me at this age? Or we hear all kinds of excuses people come up with. You know, it's ridiculous. When you go back now to that situation, you're gonna find it be 10 times worse, more often than not, because there was a reason, a real valid reason the relationship broke apart in the first place. Okay? We actually, as people, build connections with people, you know? And a lot of us like to think that we're connected to someone forever just because we slept with that person, or, you know, no, you're not. You're connected through here and through here. You cut that off, say snip, it's over, okay? Going back is not going to make it better the second, third, fourth, fifth time around, all right? Recognizing what the problems are or were in the first place is key to keeping you from making that mistake, from going backwards, from retreating, you know, surrendering and retreating. You know, I love Bone Thugs and Harmony, never no surrender, okay? No pretend. No retreat though. That's what I'm going to say, because time is a factor. Happiness is a factor. You know, growth is a factor. It's a big factor. When you're going backwards, you're stealing time from yourself. Time that you could have been actually seeing life unfold in such a better way, you are now selling yourself short. You know, every day to remove unwanted situations, you can say, I saw a meditation. There's this guy, he says, every day be thankful for the opportunity to grow, to advance, to evolve. You know, tell yourself that every morning you get up. On this spiritual journey, I did a video as well talking about loneliness on the spiritual path. Sometimes people may not understand quite your belief system, or they may not just even care to understand it. They may be in fear of it or whatever. Keep going anyway. And that's what this video is really about. On the spiritual path, keep going, because you're going to find you have a lot of naysayers. You're going to find you have a lot of people who clearly don't understand. Some people come from a family that are, let's say, more intellectual. They come from a family that is interested in learning. They're more academic. They're good with their hands. They're good with speech. They're good with words. They're good with, you know. Then you have other people who are better working by the sweat of their brow. Other families who are blue collared, you know, they come from that home. So you have some people who are totally incompatible living together in one home. If you are seeking to become more spiritually enlightened, it is important that you not regress, that you not go backwards from where you came. You know, you are actually, I believe, killing yourself slowly. You build resentment. You grow angry and frustrated and irritable, you know, with the person. You feel like they're taking something away from you that means the world to you. You know, this is very important to recognize, you guys, because it happens a lot of times. So in a lot of instances, people grow apart, situations grow different, and we find that we blame other people for these things when we have ourselves only to blame, because we decided to ignore a certain part of ourselves for the happiness of someone else. This is not cool, this is not pleasant, and it's not healthy. You see, it's important for us to remain true to ourselves. You know, you it doesn't mean that you don't love someone. It doesn't mean that, you know, you've become this new person now. You've become this radical spiritual warrior that, you know, nobody can talk to you anymore or anything like that. It's nothing to do with that. It's simply about being true to yourself, knowing what makes you happy, moving forward with what is your calling. Nobody else can hear that call. That call is yours. And I talk about this before, that calling. You know it when you hear it. When you ignore it, you find yourself paying a greater, heftier price than you can even imagine in the long run. You have people, sometimes we sit down, like I talked about setting up the altar and all of that kind of stuff, which I don't take lightly at all. I take it very seriously. And I took so long to set it up because I was kind of unsure if I should have done that or whatever at that particular time, based on the same thing that we're talking about, like, how is the family going to react and respond? Is this something I'm going to be able to maintain on a daily basis? That part I had no questions about. It was actually more so the rest of the family, which I only live with my husband and 2 children, son and daughter. However, when you find that somebody is not on that particular spiritual path as on that level as you are, or even having a slightest idea of knowledge about what you actually have been doing for the longest time, you realize that it's something that is going to be problematic. It's going to be kind of difficult, Like somebody mentioned the other day, when you go and set up altars, you have to be really careful because it's nothing to play with. It's not a game. It's not a joke. You're dealing with a portal to a spirit realm, And say somebody just comes in and rests a bottle of booze or something on your altar or whatever. Then they pick it up and go drink it, could be a problem. Because remember now, anything that you place there is basically viewed as an offering for whoever the altar is set up for, whatever particular deity, whether it's our ancestors or whatever. You want to make sure that this is in congruency with the rest of your life, So be very careful, but at the same time, you have to take a big scope at your entire situation. Are you going to go backwards, in order to make someone else comfortable and happy for their simple, basic pleasures? Or is this something that calls to your heart and soul in a deeper fashion that you just must follow? And for me, that's how I feel. But at the same time, certain things I realize I have to kind of lull it down a little bit, if that's the right word I could use. So guys, remember, forwards ever, backwards never. That's my message for today. All right? And what doesn't fit will fall away. If you keep that philosophy, if you keep that motto, that's my slogan. Forwards ever, backwards never. And you know what? It wasn't always my slogan. I'm going to be honest. It was not always my slogan. I realized the consequences of my actions now, moving forward, now that I'm like 35 years old, is important. If you have a conviction, if you have this yearning and burning to move forward with something, continue to do that. And whoever is not on board with you, who's not supportive of your decision, they're going to actually either get on board or they're going to just say, hey, bust up, let me off right here, please. That's what I'm looking forward to, because it's not for the swiftest in this race. It's not a race at all in this journey. It's not for the swiftest, It's not for the most clever, but it's for the fearless, Be courageous about your spirituality, about your consciousness. Be courageous about it, because at the end of the day, you are the one who are going to regret it in the end. The other person may not care about spirituality at all. The other person may not know what a pineal gland even is. The other person may not actually turn around and say, well, if it wasn't for this, sometimes people, I'm thinking about so many things, 10,000 thoughts a second right now. Sometimes what you're doing, like I said before, subtly inspires the other person to some positive change. So don't hold back. Don't be fearful. Be fearless. Be creative and be courageous. The movie Fearless, that's my favorite movie, one of my favorite movies, Jet Li, okay? The champion of Tangshan, okay? Fearless for doing the right thing though, and for the right reasons. You will come out on top. You will be the one, you will see the glory from it, in other words. Going backwards, a lot of times, we do it for the children. We do it for sometimes just simply out of fear, lack of self-confidence. There's a guy I saw talk about something the other day. I just found his channel a few days ago. I don't even remember his name now. Oh my gosh, that's sad. But I bet you when I press stop on this thing, I'm going to remember it. But he's talking about women sleeping with guys with low self-esteem. Why women do it so much. Why women always have to find an excuse to do it, And I think the basic, most blatant answer to that is because they themselves have low self-esteem. He calls it LSE. LSE, low self-esteem. We go backwards a lot of times to sum this up with clarity because of low self-esteem, because we suffer with low self-esteem ourselves. And we need to actually develop the confidence to go on and to know that everything is going to be okay. Everything is going to work out. Stop creating these fear-based thoughts in our minds and imagining these stupid outcomes that hardly ever happen in the first place, and move forward boldly. Somebody I also saw on YouTube, they grabbed their crotch. And this is a female, and she's not a butcher, anything. She grabs a crotch. Why? Because it reminds her of who she is. It reminds her every day that, hey, this is very important to me. All right? This is something that is sacred. It is something that is not to be just handed out and shared. It's something that connects me to consciousness, to my spiritual self, to God. So remember that, okay? People are only going to see and be or meet you at that level that they are at themselves. Okay, so you can't get mad if you decided to be with a low self-esteem person and now you decided to boss up and you want to move on and grow and do all of these wonderful things, and now the person is still stuck in that mind frame they were in, say 10, 15 years ago. What are you going to do? Like I said, either it's going to fit or it's going to fall away. So you can continue doing you, and the universe will do the rest. The universe is only responsible, we are only responsible for the what and the why. Okay? The universe, source, is responsible for the when, the how, the who, the all of that, the rest of that. So keep on doing you. Strengthen up yourselves on a daily basis. Don't dumb yourself down. Don't go around acting cocky and conceited, but don't dumb yourself down for anybody. Okay? And you will find your life start to unfold like a lotus flower. You will start to see other petals blossom. It just starts to blossom all the way around. And that's what I truly believe, and that's why I wanted to bring this message to you guys today. If you feel me, press like, just so that I can know, hey, I'm reaching you guys. Touch hands. Hit subscribe if you have not subscribed to my channel as yet, and the little bell that's on the side, be sure to hit that too. That's going to let you know when I'm back with another topic or I'm live streaming. If you have subscribed to my channel, blessings to you guys. We're in this together, and I'm going to do my best. We're going to make this fun. We're going to make this exciting, but we're also going to grow. And that is the purpose of this channel. Growth, learning, truth. light, elevation, all of that good stuff. So guys, thanks for watching. That's my topic for now. I'll be back very shortly with another great topic. But until then, I'm going to say peace out, guys. Blessed be and namaste. Bye.